Hello and welcome to the show. And as I've just sat down, I've noticed there's something on here. So let's just get into it straight away, shall we? What is this? So
That's blingy right there.
what the hell? You guys are so random. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do with this.
What I don't understand the thought process.
It's probably drugs, isn't it? Let's be honest.
What's
Anyway,
below the picture? There's
what?
something behind the picture?
Oh,
Did we,
man.
did
I
we
don't.
look
I don't
further?
think so. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the show. We've got Jordan Nothing Gilbert here today. He has come to join us for our final day of the season. So we're going to be starting with European games. We have got lots of Virtus.Pro games. Somehow we always end up with multiple Virtus.Pro games to play at the end of every season. And this season is no different. So maybe we can start with the... never mind. Here's the schedule. So Virtus.Pro versus Ninjas in Pyjamas, Virtus.Pro versus Envy in 2 games. And those last 2 games might be quite interesting indeed. Let's have a look at the table and see how things are standing at the moment. So Ninjas in Pyjamas can no longer make it to LAN. The best they can do is 27 points, which won't be enough to cut the mustard this time. Envy have 2 games to play, which, again, will take them to 18 points. I don't know what the head-to-head is versus Gambit. Maybe the good boys in the back can let us know. But this is a fight for relegation. Versus VP, obviously, if they win 2 matches, then they are clear. So it's a question of, can Virtus.Pro... I think they escaped last season, didn't they? They got out of the bottom 2? I want to say, well, there's been 2 seasons in a row they beat Space Soldiers and stopped Space Soldiers qualifying for ECS. I don't know if that was last season as well. Anyway, they... I mean, we look at Gambit, right? Gambit's destiny is not in their hands. Gambit only just qualified for ECS after multiple seasons of failure. They are notoriously bad online, and that is no different this season with a 6-12 scoreline. So they don't want to be... I mean, Mouse Sports are surprisingly low as well, 7-11. That's not really what we expected. But if you look across the table, a lot of teams have taken L's. Everyone's lost at least 6 matches. Yeah. I mean, I'd say 8. 8 matches is almost half it's pretty much 50-50, isn't it? So only really G2 have just about beaten that, and Astralis obviously 17-1. But everyone else has lost a lot of matches. I don't remember a season where so many L's have been taken by so many teams.
Well, someone's got to get wrecked because, I mean, just look at the names. Like, all these teams are really strong, even though we had sort of some turbulence with the roster switches and stuff like that. And, you know, things are shaken up a lot in the last, like, couple months. Still, like, all these teams are so good. Like, Godsent, for example, as well, are just like a team that are just so dangerous. Like, you watch them play, and they can take maps off of anyone. And I'm actually really enjoying them. In fact, I mean, Mouse Sports as well, having a rough online season is just... I think it just is what it is. It just shows the nature of how strong these teams are at the moment, I think.
Yeah, we've always prided ourselves on having a smaller size league, so it's more competitive. So you don't have the punching bags at the bottom. Obviously, VP still struggling there. How are you doing, Jordan?
But yeah, it's funny because you're talking about that and you think of the people at the bottom, and it's like previous major champions.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom of the league, and it sucks to see NBA struggle as much as they have been. But I was watching the relegation this past weekend for the EPL or whatever, and was a team, I don't even remember the team name they lost to, with the green logo or the purple logo. It's like Eastern European team. They got beaten a best of 3.
Yeah, I can't remember what team it is.
But anyways, yeah, it just sucks to see MV in that
Wendigo.
Wendigo, yeah. And so I'm rooting for my boys Torqued over there to try to come back swagging them. But yeah, interesting to see MVS have that kind of lack of success. And of course VP with their changes. I don't know when they're gonna get.
I like your shoes.
Running back again. NMDs, the green.
I actually ordered those shoes 3 times because there's this website in the UK called JD Sports, right? And I emailed them. I ordered those shoes 3 times, and every time they said, "Oh, there's some problem, so we can't fulfill your order." And basically, they said they were in stock, and they weren't in stock. So then they changed the website and said they're not in stock.
That happened to me the other day. I ordered the black ones with the Japanese writing on it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like
I've got those.
The signature.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they just didn't come. And then I have like a gray pair that are dirty, a white pair that are dirty, a blue pair that's dirty. So I bought, because initially I bought like 5 NMDs. I did the James move, and now I have like 1 clean pair left. So.
Yeah. I can't do the white sole. I can't do the white sole. But enough about shoes for the time being. Our finals are coming up in June. just a month away, more or less. Wembley.csgoleague.com is where you can pick up some tickets, a precursor to the major perhaps, which will be happening in London as well. If you can, make sure you get down there to the finals. They will be pretty exciting. You're going to see NRG on land versus some European teams. I'm looking forward to that. What do you think about NRG, quickly? Have you seen much of their games?
I think Fugly's been calling, even though Daps is back in, which is interesting. I don't know if they made that switch back. I know he was calling, and it was interesting to watch them. And then, of course, everyone talks about Cirque, who's pretty amazing. And it's just interesting to see that team kind of come out of nowhere. These guys are cheesing in the background. Oh.
Continue, just carry on.
Just
our studio.
Hallucinogenics are in the air right now.
Just down in the track wheelchair, that's fine.
I did not see it. Yeah, so it's really interesting to see the different role players, because they're all kind of role players on NRG come together, and then Cirque. So it's actually kind of cool, because Daps have always been known to call pretty simple style, but ever since he wasn't part of that old Optic crew, he hasn't really been able to find too much success. So maybe having the firepower of Cirque, and people like Fugly and stuff, the rest of their guys have good aim and good firepower. Now they have Cirque to scare people off a little bit. It's going to be cool to see him on land. What was the last event? They did all right, and they almost beat a couple big dogs. Was that Marseille?
I think it was, yeah. They started to, they warmed up over time. I think the experience was important for them, and they didn't completely fail, which I think is also
that Astralis
important
game,
psychologically.
Yeah, on Overpass was a big one. So anyways, we're going live, I think, right?
We are indeed. Virtus.Pro starting on the T side. The VP are a team who, for a time, they would have 3 people with grenades and a pistol round. This time they've only got the 1. So teams are always trying different things, which is good and important as a team who are still struggling.
It's been going on for a while, James. The struggle. Well, that's really nice to start off with a quick pick. Going for more information will be denied by Miku. And Miku just holding into the apps at the moment. And wow, a lot of T's getting picked off. This is kind of a problem for VP, because you really want those numbers to breach the bomb site to get out those choke points, and they're just getting picked off one by one. So now they are sort of committed to try to walk around and find frags themselves. A straight push into a bomb site may not be the best option for success.
This is kind of epitomizing right now Mirage to me these days. People are just, you know, we get away from the default style. Now it seems everyone just trying to take every gap here. Now it's back to a 2 versus 2. A lot of back and forth here, and now it's really just kind of a guessing game, try to group up, and Rez here in a good position to catch them off if they do decide to come B.
This is the nightmare scenario. 1 CT per site, almost guaranteeing yourself a 2 versus 1, but what can you do? Your angle might be enough. Oh, just in time, Rez. Bialy has not seen Rez reposition, spotted him now, and Rez can buy time for get right's rotation. Will take a while though. Popping out, and there is the round for Ninja's Pajamas. Got scary for a while, but such is the nature of a pistol round.
Yeah.
Still 3 kills for Rez.
Yeah, Rez with a good start. Rez is an amazing anchor for any bomb site. He's really consistent, great rifler. He's so perfectly suited to being a very solid B player. I mean, you see him on B on most maps for NIP. Holding it down.
And we got the usual second round here with the forced buy, no bomb down. Looks like they're going to go for some kind of, trying to get the bomb down at A with the 2 flanking underpass. So you'll see the smokes, and they probably won't immediately go out. So flashes after, and then let the T's kind of get a little bit more ground. And now that they got spotted, there's no reason to wait anymore, and they'll probably come to the A ramp.
Oh, still a thing.
That still exists.
Although, if it was like it was before, that would have been a headshot, so at least there's that. Bialy, he's got 1 player in the red by default, but the cavalry's coming in. Oh, could have been a lot more than that. CZ, baby!
It is still insane. What do you think about this suggestion? Add 12 bullets to the CZ, make it 900, buff the fire, or the accuracy, a little bit of the 5.7, and make it 600.
I'm not happy with the way the 5.7 is at the moment, for sure. I've spoken to, Body on G2, he's using the 5.7 at the moment. I don't really understand what it is for the time being, so I would like it to be somewhat better.
Weird, because clicking it's almost like the P250, it's not 100% accurate, and then spamming it is like its own beast.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going on when you spam it. But even when you patiently try and tap it as you would a P250, you get betrayed time and time again. So I don't know. With the CZs, I wouldn't add bullets to it. I don't think, even if you raise the price of it, I think if you didn't change the weapon, it would still be overpowered for what it is or what it's supposed to be. So
yeah, I figured if you're gonna raise the price, they might as well give them some extra ammo so they could use it, maybe to tap through some smoke. Because assumingly now you're gonna use it not as much on those force buys. So I don't know what situation you would want to see in, but if you made it 900, maybe they really want to have to use it.
I think if you give it extra bullets in it, then it's doing an SMG's job at that point. So anyway, track it. Huh?
Said remove it.
Remove it sounds good to me. Just make it dummy weapon, doesn't fire anymore. Put an orange thing in the front of it.
4 versus 3 now. This is kind of 4 versus 2 now, looking like I was talking about with Mirage nowadays. It seems like every match I watch, the old kind of, hey, let's smoke top mid, let's take mid control, and CTs will just play connector cat window. It's never that simple anymore. Obviously, not foreign, but Bialy showing us a little bit of his snappiness, Dan.
Yeah. My solution for the CZ was to... Oh. Nice.
He like snaps just accept it. He like turned, he's like, no. Why?
But yeah, Bialy's pretty screwed here. Ooh, some good damage. It's got time as well, but it's a question of how much damage he can do to the economy of his opponents, and eventually he'll go down. Pretty nice movement, but yeah, my solution of something I think would have been cool would, if they have to have it in the game, make it a choice between the Deagle and CZ, because then you have to choose between two things that you really want to buy, and two things that have very different purposes, and two things that are very strong. Like, if you're going to buy 5 Deagles, you're not going to be as good at rushing through choke points. So the CZ is going to be much better at the move and shoot, and it has different utility to the Deagle. So I feel like that would be, because my problem right now is that there should never be a gun which is so good that there's never an argument to buy anything else. Like, then what's the point of having any other choices? That's just bad design, in my opinion.
Pistols, 4 versus Pro, and they're not getting very far.
Nope. I mean,
and just change the price.
Yeah, like 700, same as the Deagle.
That's it though. No other.
Yeah. I think that could be another solution too, but
VP still has a pretty interesting strat book. They look like they have the strats, but are they relying too much on them? Is there chemistry? Is there cohesion? We're going to see here as we go into the 6th round if they have anything special to show us. It looks like... See, this is interesting. I guess that's not a bad early round protocol, right? A lot of people take that Halls fight, but can go for a 1-for-1.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. Also make some stepping in there, make some noise.
And the Valk smoke, right?
I think it also can potentially scare the CTs a bit from maybe pushing it, because it does seem, if you make some noise there's a lot of stepping that they can hear. Maybe they will be less inclined to try to go for a push, or maybe it'll slow down their ability to push Palace, which does seem to be a common move from CT sides to get information. And if you have someone just waiting Palace, and then maybe that's the only person that you leave on the A side as the CTs, it's actually a very strong position if the Ts end up A late round.
Yeah, because you're collapsing on them. You're pinching them.
Versus Pro need to bank on peeking them from CT, but NIP don't really have the right positions at the moment to see what is going on in the mid area. Pasha waiting for a peek. If he holds this angle, I think he might have seen a waistline there. What is the play here from Virtus.Pro? They've been around short in the ladder room for quite a while. Now the bomb's starting to move in. They had a lurker towards both sites, and now Forest is moving up towards that short position. No more smoke, so once the information is found, they need to get out of this choke point very quickly indeed. Draken trading a kill elsewhere, and there is Forest picking off Mihu. 18 seconds now, 2 versus 4. Seems that IPF picked the wrong direction. Too many targets now to deal with for Virtus.Pro. Seems the smoke in front of ladder room delayed them for quite a while, but they weren't sure where the CTs were. CTs weren't sure where the Ts were.
Well, it sucks that, I mean, Draken, that was Draken close ramp, right, Tetris? Having that close op position in that case really help them. In a lot of cases, if you can get out Tetris there, then you can flashback Toll Booth, and that's how you scale up the bench to triple from connector. But because they didn't have that, they're now kind of triangulated from spawn, ramp, connector. So kind of unlucky, actually, that Draken just chose to play that round, because Virtus.Pro is close to pinching, and now they're going to go for a fast strat here to see if they could change up the pace a little bit.
Oh, that's a very timely Molotov. That's going to be really annoying, actually, coming out of the balcony. However, there will be some frags here for VP to try to bust into the bomb site. They've done fairly well considering the counter grenades of NIP, but Draken making the difference there. That's what let's get right. More trades as they try to get the bomb down, but they just can't manage to make it work in time.
Interesting choice by Mishu there. I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't know what guns they killed, but you know they had it at least one op. When you cross A that fast, a team like NIP is not slow. The Cat player is going to be rotating off to clear mid. There's a pretty good chance he's watching center sight cross there. I understand if you kill 2A guys, sometimes you're like, oh, third guy's window, so let me just try to cross and take spawn control. But risky play there, having not killed an opper, so you know, we obviously have all the vision here, but
we are omniscient, all-knowing. Yes. Spray the smoke.
Notice how he didn't use his whole magazine. Is it magazine? Oh god, I'll never remember which one it is. Magazine or bloody clip.
magazine.
I forget every single day.
Magazine.
Every day I forget.
Chase, think of it
Doesn't matter how many people tell me. I still won't remember.
we can think of it like this. We've established that we know what rappers say and rappers are wrong.
Ah, yes, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a magazine. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they talk about clips all the time.
Yeah.
Got my clip
got
in
the
my
clip.
pocket.
Yeah.
Get the strap.
Because they don't shoot their guns. I have more guns than the average rapper.
Do you?
Yeah.
1.
3.
We got rid of all of our guns at my parents' house.
I have
Dang
3
it, Dad,
shotguns.
You American. You're not American anymore.
Oh, wow.
Still got burgers.
Just kidding, all burgers out there. We have a lot of weapons.
If I move here, I'll have to get a gun. Call it gunny.
Very good, very good.
Nips looks a little one step ahead of VP kind of at each stage here. Mid control here, 2 guys in A, nice setup for what they've been trying. Double ops, so that guy at B can take a shot and fall if he wants.
Beyond playing the lurk in Palace. He has been detected. A slow round from VP, waiting for pushes. Dennis will get a nice 1v1 there. And that's almost the spot that Dennis can sort of pre-fire, actually, with the general pace of VP. And sort of reading that it's a default, you kind of know a guy will probably be standing there, so... Ooh, and then Forrest as well, able to take down Snacks, even though Snacks knew that Forrest was likely there. Still a superior angle, and they can't seem to find a way in here. As I say that, Bialy does find himself something to work with, but it will be tough to progress onto a bomb plant. There's 4 CTs, and they've got plenty of nades.
I was going to ask the question, where is Draken? Oh, Forrest, please. The pre-fire is absolutely disgusting. Leaving Neo alone, looking towards short. The last time it was Forrest picking him off from net. Now Forrest is in A. Looking really difficult here for Virtus.Pro. Draken has been spotted aiming between default and triple from the middle of connector. Now he finds himself in CT, so it's proving difficult for Virtus.Pro to identify the setup. But it's also, you saw they were waiting for an overextension from Ninjas in Pyjamas, but holding that angle for so long can kind of slow you down when the engagement finally comes. But this from Draken.
Wow. Oh, nice. Keep it going, keep it going. He actually got hit by the smoke grenade as he was making the jump across and still made it. But that's awesome. That would be very distracting for me. Oh man, this is... They're getting trounced. VP are getting trounced. As long as it doesn't turn into... Well, there was this game... Were you there, Jordan? I don't think you were. We had Mousesports playing against VP on Inferno. Do you remember that, James?
Oh, yes.
Oscar was buying shotguns every round and just trolling them. They were just trolling the hell out of VP.
Where,
Great
Oscar
success.
plays B.
What's that?
Does Oscar play B with Chris J?
Yeah.
Is that who it is? And he was just shouting on the corners and
He was
stuff?
just running around with the shotgun.
He was everywhere with the shotgun.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
That's frustrating.
It was highly entertaining if you're not Virtus.Pro.
And on the train game, I think he bought a shotgun almost every round as well. It's literally
train,
just buying
playing?
shotguns.
Close pop? Close mid?
I think he was like, wasn't he towards Ivy or something?
He was actually all over the map as well.
He was everywhere. He was a floater. He was Cristiano Ronaldo.
Floater, like the one we saw in the rice cooker earlier, that picture you showed.
Oh yeah. Oh, did I retweet that? Christ. That was pretty funny. Oh, Dan, you would enjoy it. Dan's a rice cooker man.
Yeah. Instant pot, 7-in-1. That's what you want in your life.
There you go. So this.
Oh dear.
I'll retweet it.
Oh dear.
Oh, I did retweet it. Okay, good.
That's I don't believe a cat is capable
Did
of
they
such
throw
a thing.
two of the same smokers now? No, okay.
So they messed that balcony smoke up last time. I'm not surprised because you practically never see that smoke anymore. There are so many grenades to remember. It is hard to remember all the lineups. Well then.
Not bad, not bad.
0-11 for Virtus.Pro. I can see the posts now.
It's tough too.
Taz was not the problem.
When you don't get any kind of one round to grow off of, there's no seed planted, you're constantly digging a new hole, and they're just filling it with their own dirt. There's no chance here. They're just... Does that analogy work? Yeah, there's no seeds. They're dumping the seeds. Birds are coming in, eating them. Whatever, I'm not a gardener, but I do know that it's 11-0 right now, and that it's really hard on Seaside Mirage. If you can't establish one win off of a mid control, everything becomes a gimmick after gimmick after gimmick, meaning not that Virtus.Pro only has gimmick strats, but that it's hard to know, okay, we have no read now. We're just hoping for that one round. We have no baseline.
No consistent approach.
Yeah, so, VP definitely knows how to play Mirage, but little off tempo today.
Yeah, NIP had a lot of really good reads as well as to what VP were doing in most of the rounds.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, Draken is hitting all of his shots. Forrest is playing really well. Dennis has got more frags than both of those two players. So it's like Rez has been locking down the B-bomb site very effectively. Though he has lost his head here. But Forrest is in position, or it's kind of a rough position to deal with, and he'll go down. Dennis also taken out. His legs are swept from under him. Sweep the legs.
Bialy's always ready to get those frags. As long as bodies are in front of him, he's someone who's pretty sharp. It's so funny, people sleep on Bialy from time to time, and Virtus.Pro, Bialy's always ready to game. It's I haven't been watching them a lot this season though, VP in general, a lot of the EU season just because of the hours, but I just every time I watch them, I don't feel like they don't grow, teams like, okay, we've been together for 3 weeks.
You're not missing much, mate.
3 weeks, we don't have a flow on the snap.
Yeah. So, of course, with Envious, we saw all the statements, a lot of public displays of unhappiness from the players about the team, and Kiyoshima is like, it doesn't matter how good the players are, everyone on the team's just really good, but you can't force chemistry.
I saw that interview, yeah.
Yeah, and that's do you think that's the same story for VP?
It just, the chemistry is broken, right? It's something where, like my favorite Tool song, Schism, right? We know the pieces fit because we watched them fall away.
Yeah.
So something's happened, and they need to regather themselves because they obviously have the chemistry enough to only replace one player. It shouldn't ruin the chemistry this much, right?
Yeah.
They just need to get some confidence back and some momentum rolling.
What if they went to like couples therapy, like some relationship therapist?
Do they not have a sports therapist at the least in all these teams? I've never actually seen VP having one.
But
You're talking relationships. Sit on a couch. How's the sex been?
Yeah.
Fulfilling each other's needs.
Oh my God.
Rez is fulfilling all their needs with no lube involved.
Rezi.
Can we calm down? This is a family show, Jordan.
Oh yeah,
leave your
we're
lube
better
at home,
than
buddy.
this. We're better than this. I forgot. I'm better than this. It's just I come back and the novelty of being on the couch forces these kind of childish humor on me. Guys, forgive me.
What are you saying? What does that mean about saying about us?
What?
I'm very disappointed, Jordan.
That you guys are my presents. You guys bring the child out of me. We're looking at pictures of cat shit.
There's swearing as well. Great. Just keep going, Jordan Gilbert. Just keep going. One day at a time.
my opinion, does not represent ECS.
Bloody hell. Can't take this guy anywhere.
That's brilliant. Oh. Okay, so there is some hope for Virtus.Pro, you know, picking up a rounds. But still plenty of cash on NIP. And Mihu going pretty deep here. Nice pick there into the A-bomb site. Using that short smoke to cover him, and that is going to be a really good look here for VP. Gets even better. Rez was taking a forward push to try to mitigate the disadvantage in men, but Forest is absolutely murdering them. Surely not. He looks really good right now. Give me more Forest. I want to see more of this guy.
Even starting from the pistol round, you saw that old 1.6 accuracy. Anyone ever asked me how to use a pistol, I say, watch Forrest. So much in his left hand. Obviously, he has that high sense, he's able to snap, but his movement has always been so crisp.
Yeah.
It's pretty, that first jumping AK shot right there was
Pin him to the wall. Painkiller.
yeah.
It's like I'm just going to always have like certain favorites. Like Forest is always going to be a favorite. Like Shox is always going to be a favorite. Like these players who they've been around for absolutely ever and ever. And sometimes you wonder if you should doubt them because they've been at it for so long, but they just time and time again prove to you not to doubt.
Aside from those 2 kills, I was going to say this is looking good because Vishu is up connector and Forrest went underpass, so they kind of slipped by each other. Vishu's going to be able to catch off Rez as he rotates, not expecting it. And Nip is going to be able to, or Virtus.Pro rather, is going to be able to close 3 rounds and a half unless Forrest gives us a highlight reel.
Ooh, he's going to have the element of surprise as well. There's one. Very controlled burst to take down Snags. The next one. Beautiful stuff from Forest. He just knows everything.
He's like a cheetah
One
in the grass.
after the other. This guy is just in the Matrix at the moment. All that Counter-Strike experience over the years. You've never seen someone so sure of themselves and exactly where the opponents will be and how to take the fights. Just tapping the bomb there. Discovers where the last player is. Oh, and he gets the frag as well. The headshots are raining in. Does he have enough time? It's going to be so close. Forrest, have you got it? Oh, that is heartbreaking.
Man. Come on, man. He deserved that.
A little bit quicker on that box, and he had the defuse, and I ate my words there.
It is as though he has the X-ray on himself. Like he just understands so well how they're going to peek in, which order. His crosshair placement's good. He's calm, so controlled. Like the bursts are so controlled, like reminiscent of Rain. How well Rain just controls his burst and takes his time. That's one of the things about Forrest too. That when you watch him, he's very confident. Always, like always has that clarity of mind when it comes to the fights. They never panic of any kind. Oh, he deserved that round.
He deserved it.
He deserved it.
Pistol time. Mihu holding a line on his own. Very far away are his teammates, which is why he has to abandon ship, but he still manages to pick up some players. Mihu, hello. 2 for him so far. 4 versus 2. Pasha's got a HE grenade, but he doesn't really have an angle to throw it. Of course he'll throw it anyway, because it's Pasha. Rez, 1 versus 3. He's pretty good with the pistols as well.
Oh, that was so quick. Just going to slow me on that one. Let's slow it right down. Slow it right down.
He was already
spin that wheel.
Down. He's in another time level wave than us. That second shot there. We got a replay coming up.
Yeah, Eamon's going to spin the wheel. He's going to slow it right down.
Spin that wheel.
Spin it. There you go. Look at the wheel. It's a replay machine reference.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And then.
But this one.
Oh!
Oof. That was close. Dude, that was a hair to the left. Look at this right here. Oof.
Oh.
Yeah. The score line, we're getting some nice, fun, exciting rounds here.
Oh, yes. Yes! Oh, my God.
Okay, that's not what they were expecting. Wasn't it all the T's with the grenades? Maybe trying to do an Astralis. It's not quite how it normally works. Absolutely wrecked.
The reckoning. Okay. We got the rifles out. Now we get to see NIP's T-side.
You've got Tool in my head now. The Pot.
Tool is so good.
My favourite one. They're in the studio at the moment, actually. Finally. For a new album.
Really?
Yeah, true.
Yep, they are.
Nice. I hope they...
Recording, actually.
When can they put everything on Spotify, please?
Apparently they are also doing deals for that.
Oh, thank
Finally,
God.
coming into the 21st century.
I was going to say.
Neo is looking to bring his team into the 21st century because they have been left behind. Man advantage now for Ninjas in Pyjamas, and they won't dwell on short. No smoke around the ladder ridge to slow them down. But Mihu is a problem, but Forest is a bigger problem. He's the biggest problem on the server right now, 22 kills.
Lineup for Snacks. But Rez, oh, hello! Dink down to 10. But Bialy's a bullet away from death as well. But Rez will walk straight into the angle, and he will be eliminated.
Virtus.Pro finally getting a little momentum here on the comeback and trying to give us a good show.
Yeah.
Something to believe in towards the end of the season.
It's cool because a lot of the frags that we're seeing for both teams are just like nice frags. You know, just like clean headshots, like bursts. You know, whether it's Bialy getting 2 really fast headshots, or Forest walking in and owning people, or Rez, or Dragon's flick shots. We're getting the show. It's the gun show.
We got 3 tickets. Always got to be careful of the player close sandwich, making their way to the stairs. Get right. He's slightly toasty. Get finished off by the Granate. So it's all about the CT sides today here on Mirage. Again, Virtus.Pro fighting to avoid the relegation battle once again. They are pretty much, at this point, the gatekeepers of ECS. And they just keep closing the gates on the Space Soldiers specifically. But for those of you unaware, the qualifying match to make it into ECS versus the relegated teams is a best of 5. And the matches against Space Soldiers have been absolutely bananas. There's been at least 2 of them. I would highly recommend watching them even now. They've been crazy. The first one especially was quite a battle.
This reminds me of like a Chris J type player. Jack and solo take A with the op, cutting off angles, and might get caught from the jungle guy if he decides to peek a little out right here. Pasha, did he hear that or not? Did he hear the scopes?
Surely Mihu must have heard the drop. Does he think it's a teammate or something? What's going on here?
Oh, the communication was so late. He saw him turn around, maybe Pasha was like, I think, my friend, there's somebody flanking you.
My friend.
But I don't know, I mean, if they're all talking at the same time, perhaps it's... I don't know, man. I feel like I've got really good headphones, but also my hearing is fine. Because a lot of people, you don't know. No, seriously, like Nafly, for example, he has hearing issues, right? Like his hearing isn't perfect. As one example, Fur, obviously, I mean, one ECS final, his ear was bleeding, and he was hiding in the toilet, so no one knew. So people have issues that you're not aware of. So
wow,
it's not as simple as, oh, I can't believe you didn't hear that. Sometimes there are other factors at play. And one of them is equipment. One of them is the human equipment as well.
I always found it was insane that Fur could be as good as he is without perfect sound in both ears, because it's such a big deal in this game. Well, NIP will win their first buy rounds, and they do so pretty cleanly too. And they can't, I was about to say they can't find the 2 remaining players VP, but it looks like they get one of them. So that's the AWP. Oh no, Snacks saved the AWP. So, can NIP keep it up though? I would like to see just, continued mid takes. Just that's a fun dynamic for me. I like to see teams that are good at taking mid. It's always a pleasure watching Mouse Sports for that reason.
Well, if your opera just walks out of your ramp alone and kills a solo site player, that works too.
Yeah.
But looks like you're going to get your wish. There's a lot of people towards mid. They're kind of doing the SK's old approach, where they do the kind of the 4-1 risk that they're not going to push A ramp. But
I like the flying fast flashbang there from Mihu. Remember, there was Steel did a demo review of a match I played on Mirage at LAN, and I just ran out short and just got shot immediately. Never mind. 4 versus 3, the bomb collected by Ninjas in Pyjamas towards top mid, where pretty much all their remaining players are now, these 3 AK players.
I mean, Draken spotted the second player towards B, so he knows that's the information that NIP have. The double AWP makes things interesting for VP. Rez gets booted into the window. And the bomb, everyone is in mid for NIP, so it does really heavily rely on them being able to get past connector. Oh, Pasha off the angle. Rez, will he be able to cross in time before Pasha returns? Pasha is returning. 40 seconds now for NIP. Oh my god, the timing is unreal. Oh god, that is just Counter-Strike things right there. The trade's in for Snacks, but can he get the next one? The flashbang's pretty good. Snacks still alive somehow. Might even be able to get another frag. He will. That's the bomb in the apartments. 25 seconds for Forest to clutch this.
Spots one of the two remaining players. Where's the last one? There he is! Neo not afraid to take the duel against his old friend.
One of the coolest things about Snacks is even right there, even though it wasn't really like an amazing play per se, his choices to just kind of like stand still by the pillar, knows that first guy, yeah, he's more of an immediate threat if he runs at him, but generally when the opper takes a shot, you're okay, expecting he's going to reposition. Snacks just stands still, and the second guy just runs in his crosshair because he knows at that level, meta communication is almost impossible. You can't just be like, oh, Snacks, hold him right side pillar, don't come out. You know, like, it's going to happen where if you just kind of know the routes they're going to take, which he did, he just held, and it's very impressive actually, that just that one simple balcony kill, and how he just stood still after it as well, so that he didn't die faster than he needed to. And knowing how to die in delay is really important, because then his teammates already mark it, and up catwalk and ready to get the kill, so the T doesn't kill him and can reposition over the next 5 or 10 seconds or something. So impressive subtleties from Snacks.
Yeah, if he doesn't get that kill, they lose the round, I'm pretty sure. I think that would have been the outcome.
Yeah.
Such a good position from NIP, and Forrest's been so good too. He's 24 and 12. He's having a game.
And Dennis as well. I'm surprised he was off a team for so long. His pistols and riflers are always so amazing. I
was saying yesterday that actually, it's funny how the timing worked out, because I would have absolutely seen Dennis probably instead of Exist. If Dennis was a free agent then, was like to FaZe, and that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's like a perfect team for Dennis.
35 seconds on the clock here. And similar to Virtus.Pro with their presence on short. Oh boy. Snacks pushing B absolute. Look where the bomb is on its own. There's a very important duel coming up. Who's going to have the right angle though? Snacks starting to back off, and maybe he'll start to turn if Mihu goes down here. Dennis trade. Surely that takes the attention away for Snacks. The timing is perfect for Get Right. 12 seconds to get the bomb down. Two players coming in from CT. Barley on a very long flank indeed.
Oh, nice. Very calmly finished that one off with Rez. Could easily have died there, honestly. And now Neo's coming in the apartments, but he needs some distraction from Bialy, who's well and truly smoked off. Get Right holding this position from bench. Neo can't find any weapons to recover, so they are gonna call it. And NIP moved to 14 rounds.
That took guts from Rez.
Yes.
To just continue to pre-fire with a CZ. Just believing that he's going to peek. And Pasha's obviously like, surely he's not going to peek.
And he can feel that guy coming from the right, so he for sure can't seal off that second kill. He's like, make this work. Die, go down.
14 rounds for Ninjas in Pajamas. Ooh. Virtus.Pro, they broke. This might be the end of the line in this particular match.
This is one where if Nip takes that approach that Draken did and like goes out of here well, it really hurts him on a round like this if he gets caught off. You know, he's going to go for his kill. If he misses it or gets caught here at the ramp, they could take his AWP and turn this into something, but he's been showing up this whole game. And smartly gets away because they should know they have the overall utility advantage on a round like this. No rush, let everyone waste their nades. But Pasha, knowing he needs to get a kill, I think that's very smart from him. If he sits back and merely plays a spot, good chance are that he's, you know, it's 50-50 at that point if you're at the right site when they hit, and if you're at the wrong one, you lose for sure. So give himself a little bit better chance now. Reset, and you know, even this A stack right now, as much as it looks like a gamble to play 3 towards A here, it's pretty much the only option you have. Can't really take fair fights with Umps, MP9, CZ, medium long range.
New standard Mihu play. Normally throws the flash under the window as well. Picks through into mid. Oh, Snacks, will you see Rez here? the angle. Just in time. Spot second player as well. Mihu maybe soon supporting him from the window, but no support required. There is one more player, the last player in the mid position. Mihu will take care of that. Round number 9 for Virtus.Pro. An unlikely round for sure. And look what it's done to Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Great shots there. What do you guys think about those rail wall bangs? The other day on Cash, I peeked connected shot. A guy bought a bid and hit through the railing of Z. It's like, I had to like, I hit him for like 46 or something because I naded him bottom mid and he still didn't die. I was like, what? How is this possible?
Shooting that scaffold on short is really annoying.
Yeah, I feel like you could, you know, you should be able to make it have like a no projectile like collision. Like a player, they can give it like player collisions, so you can stand on it, but like no projectile collisions, so that you can, some stuff is just, you can just shoot through it, because that inconsistency in really important positions is a bit annoying. I don't see a reason for it to add variance there.
I think it's, you could argue that it would be, it's more intuitive that the bullet does hit it than doesn't hit it.
Sure, it's metal or whatever, but
it is annoying though. Like, it's really frustrating when you would have shot somebody in the head and then you die.
I just don't like variance for the sake of it, and unless there's like a purpose in some respect, and I just feel like the mapper didn't intend that.
well, like the apps right there, right? They have like the grate on one window. That's fully shoot. You could span through it. So like, what material is that?
Oh, that's true.
Ropes. You know?
Yeah. It's fake metal. Chinese import.
Made of what?
Some fences are pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, I understand like a cast iron or whatever it is, the railing would be.
It's fake patina plastic.
Index 92. That was very specific though.
Both teams are back on the bye once again, and we have an aggressive hold from Virtus.Pro in the middle position. We've had a lot of slow rounds here on Mirage from both T sides. So we'll see how Ninjas in Pyjamas start to build. Looking for some aggression top mid for the time being. Ninjas in Pyjamas lie in wait, but Virtus.Pro are happy towards the bottom of mid, holding their angles for now.
We've seen VP kind of make some desperate plays, so I wonder if Nip's aware that, hey, VP might just peek something.
Can we see Mihu for a second? Because he's holding a flash. But I want to see where he's holding his flash. Okay. There we go. Like, as soon as there's action, he's going to throw his flash, but where was the action going to come from? And what was the flash going to support? That was my question. So it was towards the push top mid, but I think it was in the underpass where Pasha was lost to Rez. Indeed it was. Now the bomb heading towards the A site, and Rez will try to set a fake towards B.
It's actually turning into quite a close game after VP were getting steamrolled in the first half. But this round is so critical. Somehow VP need to find a recovery. Bialy will get naded out of position, gets one on the way out, which is nice, and maybe it is just enough here, because with Mihu getting the drop on Rez, there's more chances in store for VP. Snax must win his fight, and he will. Very nice snap from him.
Now it's just Snax of 12 HP versus a full health get right. Both with AKs though. Can he be fast enough? Not this time. Match point for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Interesting peek there by Neo. Normally if you have a guy toll booth or under balk, you don't really need to pick ramp there. Maybe if he's mid-site and he sees a guy out Tetris or something, you peek. But he has a guy under balk there. He can play contact off him. You know your teammate has nowhere to go. I feel like Neo could have baited there. It's kind of a protocol we used to have on our team, because I remember messing that up at a big tournament. We kind of talked about it. It's like, yeah, you don't really need to peek ramp if you still got a guy sight somewhere. Unless you really think you could timing them when they're coming out because they're throwing nades or something. Anyways, 15-10 and Nip.
5-man up short.
Yeah, is he gonna
Nice.
I don't know what to say.
Hello. Oh my god. So many dudes. There's dudes everywhere.
So many bros.
Surrounded by the dudes.
It's a bro fest.
Dude squad. Dude squad.
That was one for free for Dennis, and now they're still holding position and just waiting for Virtus.Pro to come to them, and they are proving successful in that methodology. Snax alone, and he will be the last man to fall. 16-10, Ninjas in Pyjamas with nothing to lose. Virtus.Pro with everything to gain from that victory, but it wasn't to be on this occasion. We'll look at the leaderboard and see what the implications are for the final matches now in a European stage of ECS Season 5.
I love how amazing Forest looked in this game. I think just generally from LIP we're seeing more and more awesome performances all around, which is so fun because I think everyone, I think if you watch Counter-Strike, if you're a fan of Counter-Strike, it's hard not to be a fan of LIP when they're playing well. The history, the legacy of the team, and also just the players are very fun. And with this lineup with Dennis, I feel like they're just getting stronger all the time still. So I can't wait to see what the future looks like for the rest of, in the rest of the year for NIP.
Yeah, it's fun to see Bets, fun to see my old friends still killing it, repping for the boys, and then someone like Red just coming in and really showing that he could anchor, like you're saying, and just those shots.
Clean 100 ADR from Forest in that game, 25 kills. Really nice stuff. I feel like he almost always performs to a level like that, or a very high level. I think yesterday we saw some shortcomings in his performance, but generally speaking, I think it's normally well like that. So we see NIP have finished their games now, but they are just 3 points shy of trying to make it to 4th place. Virtus.Pro, no movement there at the bottom of the table, and now we have, well, both Virtus.Pro or Envy. Imagine if they go 1-1, they would ruin each other. It is going to be Virtus.Pro versus Envy in the next 2 matches to come, and they are going to be on Train and Inferno. So a short break, well, in about 13 minutes it will be Virtus.Pro and Envy. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and your FACEIT account is connected to your YouTube account so you can be eligible for the drops. See you after the break.